as I was reading this chapter, I found myself getting excited and just like yelling and cheering along and just going, "Ring that bell, Luffy! Ring that goddamn bell!" One Piece, chapter 298, Love Song.
Whew. All right, put me back in, Coach. Put me back in. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome, the excellently written, the even better executed tale of One Piece. Our last chapter saw us with the end of it, of course. Luffy did the gum fireworks move with the golden ball on his arm and was starting to kind of soak up and dissipate all the electricity within this giant ball of kingdom come that the god Enel was going to use to wipe out the entirety of, Skypiea. And I just, you know what, I had to crack one open here. It's a beautiful, beautiful ending to just a wonderfully written tale, at least this portion of the tale, I should say. But just amazing. So that's how the chapter left off. And that's right where the chapter picks up. And actually it was cool because in the last page of the chapter, it looked as if there was some like clear sky around Luffy. As of course all the Skypians and everybody were like shitting bricks thinking, wow, we're going to die, right? So the chapter picks up right where we left off. And actually Luffy managed to dissipate the giant kingdom come cloud thing, okay? And Enel's not having that, right? So this is what we've been waiting for. This is the Enel and Luffy chapter. We kind of had a couple of those before, but this is the Enel and Luffy chapter. This is the shit right here, man. This is the good stuff, and I can't wait to see it animated as well, because sometimes the manga, although drawn wonderfully, it's hard to depict some of these action scenes and exactly how things happen, especially when you're dealing with a person who stretches and can fire himself off and use momentum and things like that to change directions in midair. So anyway, I'm just looking forward to seeing that as well. But Enel goes and he's just like, 200 million volts, bro, going to throw one of his moves at him. And Luffy's like, that shit doesn't work against me, And it's funny because Enel's still talking his shit, and Luffy is like in midair, right, with the golden ball still on his arm and trying to go, and he's like all wound up trying to go and like fire himself towards Enel, And as he goes to fire himself towards Enel goes and kind of creates like this huge like electricity monster persona of him. Kind of reminds me of like King Triton from the Little Mermaid Disney movie, if anybody's ever seen it. If you haven't, watch it. It's wonderful. Under the sea. Anyway, nonetheless, though, my singing career is not taking off, so we're just going to continue doing this for now, if that's okay with you. But nonetheless, he has these two like cool-looking Triton dealies in each one of his hands, and he's able to actually go and stab into Luffy with one of them, and he gets him, he stabs him right in his back and actually skewers him with it. And he's like, you know what? He's like, the momentum will wind up pulling you back, which will skewer you further. It'll push further into you, or you can go and push off of it and fall to your death, But either way, I win, right? And right before he was saying this, I thought it was great because Nell was talking some shit, and Luffy's like, you know what? I am tired of you. I'm tired of the God this, almighty that. Why don't you just shut the fuck up, And that's not what he says, but that's what I picture him saying, in my mind. And he's just like, man, I am going to come through. I am going to ring that bell, and you with it. And I love that, because anybody who's ever heard the term, oh man, that guy got his bell rung. It's an old term from fighters, obviously from boxers, Oh man, he really got his bell rung. And and I just picture like Luffy just coming at him and jacking him up with this thing. Anyways, then Luffy, of course, gets skewered, and it's not looking so good. So Luffy goes and winds up pulling himself off of the thing, and then goes and pulls his momentum, and as he's falling down, he's like, what? Look out, Nami! And you see this, like, picture of him, and his one arm stretched out way down behind him, and the other one's, like, stretched out in front, and he's like, gum, rocket! And he winds up rocketing himself up and forward, and then... And he's like, I'll come at you again, bro. I'll come at you, get at me, bro. And that's what Enel's saying, come on at me, right? And Luffy's like, all right, I'll do it. And Enel's like, yeah, many times as you come up, I'll knock you down again. So Enel's getting ready to go. And all of a sudden, Luffy's like, he just all of a sudden goes and pulls out, he's like, gum, and he's like, golden rifle! And he just goes and like spins and propels himself forward with this golden ball, and Enel's like, oh shit, he's quick. And as he says that, I picture this all happening in like a split second, you know, as I've been reading this and I kind of pick up on different things. It seems like sometimes a chapter is like literally 5 seconds, you know, and that's what I picture, this all kind of happening, freeze frame, slow motion, you know, or something like that. And he's just like, oh boy, you know, like he's quick, you know. And the next thing you know, man, Luffy just fucking pop! And I mean, Enel is just, it's awesome because you see a tooth fly out, and I'm just thinking, yeah, fuck you, Enel! And a tooth flying out, blood spatter out of his mouth, like the, you know, the rockin' hit that you would take or that you would see, you know, just like in slow motion, just that bone-crunching smash. And there's blood flying, and his eyes are looking back and glazed over. And Luffy goes right through his ass and right into the bell, you know. And prior to this, in the chapter, the only other time that we cut away from them was towards the beginning of it, once all the lightning had been dissipated and everything. And of course, Enel's talking shit about how he'll make a bigger, better one after he defeats Luffy. But nonetheless, you wind up seeing Wyper, and Wyper's like, ring the bell, Straw Hat, you know? And then it's great. You go and you see Gonfalon said, ring the bell now, boy, you know, and everybody's kind of like cheering him on, like, all right, that's all you got to do now. And it's nice because, to me, it's like the bell is a symbol. It symbolizes the freedom. It symbolizes what Calgara was trying to do all those years ago to kind of bring Nolan back home, you know, back to, well, not back home, but, you know, but back to obviously to Jaya. And to me, it just kind of wraps everything up in a nice, neat little bow. And really, boy, I tell you, man, it was, satisfying is I think the best word for it. It was done very well, and as I said, I think that the bell symbolizes a number of different things. That's actually going to wind up leading to my chapter question as far as what your thoughts are on what the bell itself symbolizes. But we'll just ask it right now. What are your thoughts on what the bell itself symbolizes, and of course ringing it, you know? And I just thought that it was great. The whole thing, as a matter of fact, leading up to it was just, man, it was very heartfelt. I had tears running down my face, and I just absolutely love the story, man, you know. And just here, when you arrive at Jaya again and find us gone, I wonder what you'll think of us. Wait just a little longer. I'm going to tell you that we're okay. And then you get this look of Wyper, and he's looking up, you know, looking up at him. He's just like, Straw Hat. And then you get Isa, Luffy, you know. Oh man, I just love that. Bring back the light of Shandora. And then I love this, you know, it's 400 years since the Battle of the Sky began. You know, what we wanted all this time just once, you know, was obviously that bell to ring. And you see, man, oh, God, it's just so powerful. And then you just see this, the sacred land will sing once more. I believe this with all my heart. 6 years ago, on an island called Jaya on the Grand Line, I saw a golden city. El Dorado exists, you know, and it's the picture of Nolan, and you see him as he's got the swords crossed, and he's about to be executed, and never once wavered, you know, and oh, man, so powerful. No one has ever proved that El Dorado or Skypiea doesn't exist. That's what makes it a great adventure. And then you got Mont Blanc Cricket, man. Just so great, so done so well, you know. And then Luffy, reach. I love that. Mister, can you hear it? We found El Dorado, you know. And it's just great. And you see this thing ringing. You just picture, dong, dong. You know, I just picture this, like, beautiful sound coming from it, you know. And then that's where you get to see it now, and his tooth all busted out. And then for the last 400 years, El Dorado was in the sky. Oh, my God. That, you know, boy, man, if I had a microphone, I would drop it right now. So that was just a perfect ending. And couldn't ask for more. So definitely answer the question. That's how the chapter ends. Feel free, please, to answer the question down below. This is one that I'd really like to get some discussion going on. What are your thoughts on the Golden Bell itself and what it symbolizes? And it can mean something different to everybody, so there's no right or wrong answer in this one, because I could probably do an hour live stream discussion just on the bell itself and its symbolic, you know, its symbolism and its purpose and what it, you know, in my mind, what it stands for. So leave your answer in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I mean, this is, you know, come on, man. We're having a fucking party here, right? We'll look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation.
I really need a color picture of Luffy, but while I'm working on that, I guess I'll just put the nice breasts up over here. So remember to follow me on Facebook and Twitter as well.